and do some check-ins with people and leave some space about the verification process that we talked about on Monday. I would love to open up some space if you guys have questions, or if you've had a chance to start on the verification form, maybe you have questions about filling it out or something like this. So just wanted to leave some space to check in with you guys, see how you're doing, how are you feeling. I know it was a lot to take in on Monday, so if I can help shine any more light or answer any questions, just let me know.
Hi everyone. I'm doing good. It was a great process doing the project and verification. I made a mistake of still keeping it on the staging. And just a quick question, Ashley, because now I want to like copy paste it and do everything. And it says it's there on my projects, but once I click it, it says, oops, this project is no longer here. So do I have to do everything from the beginning?
Weird. Oh, I bet it's because it needs to get listed. Let me take a look.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll have to look after this call because the VPN is being
Yeah,
weird.
sure.
Sometimes when I share my screen and stuff, the VPN doesn't work so well.
It's okay. Thank
I
you.
think that's the reason though, because after you create the project, it needs to get listed. So I think as soon as it's listed, you should be able to see it there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And no worries about the confusion. I don't think I was super clear about the like staging versus the production environment. So it's good feedback for me to be more clear in the future about like we're creating fake projects on this one, and then on this one is like for real projects. So I'll definitely make sure to be a little bit more clear. I think you weren't the only one, so don't feel bad. And Ricardo, I'm glad that you're here. I also am curious, like, how is it going with creating your project and making a donation? I see I haven't received a link for the project that you created yet. So do you have questions about it, or can I help you to create that?
Hi, Ash. Hi, everyone. No, I don't have any doubt at this moment, but well, I started creating my project in Monday. I'll check it out this day, and any doubt, I send you a DM for help with my verification process.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, once you've created the project, then you'll be able to access the verification application through the project. So whichever project you create, your test project, the fake project that you're making on staging, you can just go in and fill out the verification form for that. The idea is that it gives you an idea of kind of the flow of the verification process, the questions that'll be asked, so you can help other project owners to fill out that form and participate and complete the process as well. So you won't be able to access the verification form until you've created the project, just FYI.
Okay, thank you, Ash.
Yeah. Welcome, Makizi and Jonathan. How are you guys?
Hi, Ashley. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, have you guys had a chance to take a look at the verification application and start to fill it out for the projects that you made, your practice projects?
Yes, I actually did mine. I did mine. I filled it out and I was just waiting for the review.
Oh, perfect. Perfect, cool. That's great. I just want to make sure if there was anything blocking you that I could help clear some of those blockers.
No.
All right, great. Well, if we don't have more questions about that, then let's move on to the next part. And this is where we're going to start to learn about like best practices and stuff for onboarding projects and how you can work one-on-one with project owners. I really want to provide you guys as ambassadors the best tools that I can to help you to onboard projects. And this is also something that we're developing like as we go. So please, if at any point during the onboarding process while you're working with your project owners, if there's something that comes up that you're like, oh, this would be really helpful for other ambassadors, like let's add it to our repository of tools. I'm creating this best practices document that we're going to walk through here. And then I also have like a slide deck, like a presentation deck for you guys to use as a guide. It's not really like a presentation that you'll be giving anybody, but it's just a resource for you to use step by step of like how to onboard a project. So I'll show you that too here in a moment. So I just want to go through kind of some of the best practices for onboarding projects. So bringing new projects to the Giveth platform can be exciting and rewarding experience, but it also requires strategy and patience. To ensure that the onboarding process is successful, it's important to follow best practices that have been proven to work. Here are some tips for ambassadors working to assist project owners in the onboarding of their projects. I just put 3 main things here. And like I said, we can always add to this, but I think that these are really the things that have helped me while onboarding projects the most. Because look, you guys, I know it's not always easy, especially with traditional nonprofits. And, a lot of it is really providing that gap between traditional space and Web3 space. It's not that Giveth is the hard thing to understand. It's that Web3 and crypto is a little bit difficult to understand, right? So having these tools to kind of bridge that gap, I think is going to be helpful in setting you up for success. Number 1 is providing educational resources to your project owner. I always keep a little repository of different links that are helpful, resources, articles, different MetaMask just started this MetaMask.learn or /learn thing. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about that, but it's so cool and it's great for beginners and people who've never used Web3 wallets before and this type of stuff. So having these types of resources on hand to give to project owners so that it's not just coming from your mouth, they can explore and do their own research. As we all know, it's pretty important in the crypto space to learn how to do your own research. So some ways that we can help project owners to not just like fish for them, but help them learn how to fish themselves is by providing them with these educational resources or, directing them towards rabbit holes that they can fall down and learn more about Web3. So it will help them to navigate the onboarding process and understand Giveth a bit, and it will help you. And you can always work with us if you don't have any resources or you need more resources, or if there's like a gap that isn't filled, or my project owner has this use case, like what can we do for them? They want to connect with a multi-sig, or maybe they have a special use case, and we can always try to compensate for that. So work with us if you have any questions, or if there's just something that doesn't seem to be fitting, just like ask any of us, me, Alman, Franco, any of us are here to help you guys. Maya as well was an ambassador, so any past ambassadors as well. Ask around in the Telegram and the Discord, and as the seasons go, we'll have more and more ambassadors coming in. So I think that that's number 1 best practice, is having like a repository of these educational resources that we can provide to project owners when they hit a barrier or like a hurdle. And then number 2 is really like helping them to create a robust project description. The project description is what the donors are going to see. That's what's going to grab onto their attention. That's what's going to grab onto their heartstrings. That's what's going to motivate them to want to donate to the cause or to the project. So 1 sentence or 2 sentence descriptions just really don't capture the attention of donors. So in order to attract donors, you want to have a really robust, detailed, like clearly defining the project's purpose as well as goals, including information about how the funds are going to be used. Anything that you would want to know as a donor, please help your project owner to provide that information in their description. We have pretty free interface when it comes to creating the projects. As maybe you noticed when you were making yours, you can add images, you can add videos, you can stylize your text in there. You can make it pretty creative. So get creative with the project descriptions, add images, add videos, add external links that are guiding people to where they can learn more about the project and see it in action. So put links to the website, links to any social media that they might have, anything unique that you want to show donors that shows like the project in action, shows what they're doing, any way to connect the donor more to the project. I think this is really key for a project to be successful. The more the donor can connect with the project, the more donations that project is going to receive. And there's an example here of like a successful project. Just different essential qualities that should be present in the project, you know. So this is a project that we have on Giveth right now. It has an attractive image in the back. It's always getting donations, regular updates. Updates are also important as in the future once the project is already created. And down here, they're showing images, they're showing goals, their videos, different things that for the donor to connect with. So there's an example here. And if you look through all the projects on the project page, I'm sure that you'll find quite a few more inspirations if you're looking for examples of successful projects. Let's go back here to my last bullet point and just helping your project owner to understand that the creation of the project is really just the beginning. That's when the project should be starting to use like communication and like kind of like a marketing strategy. So once the project is created, the project owner they should understand that it's not just Giveth that's going to be bringing all the donations to them. They still need to fundraise. They still need to share that with their audience. You know, like 90% of the work of fundraising comes from promotion. And Giveth is definitely on board with helping to promote and feature projects. We do events like Meet the Makers. We feature projects in our social media. We're working on doing some more storytelling initiatives, like sharing videos and stuff. So it's not that Giveth is just like, oh, you're on your own now. That's not it either. But I think a lot of project owners, when they start their project and they create it, they're like, oh, okay, my job is done now. The rest is going to happen on its own, which I think it's important that we as ambassadors make sure that they know that we still need to fundraise, you still need to promote it, you still need to share it within your communities and hype it up. And that's really what's going to help you be successful, is creating that like fundraising initiative or efforts. Engagement. Okay. Yeah, and then also just putting in here that you can always connect the project owner with the Giveth community. So having them like join the Discord, or we're going to have a Telegram group soon that they can join, ways that they can engage with the community directly. So you're not always the middleman as well. So introducing your project owners to the community, showing them where they can come to get support in the future, or interact, meet and show their project, interact with other project owners, etc. within the community. So onboarding them a little bit into the community as well is going to be helpful for them. Yeah, and I think by following these best practices, you can ensure that the onboarding process will be successful and that new projects will be able to thrive on Giveth. I think these are the main ones, and maybe we'll add more as we go. So like I said, feedback, I don't know, Almond, you think I pretty much covered everything? Franco, is there anything you think I missed or left out in these?
No, I'm watching some people coming in, which is great. Hey, Dami, Blaze. So we're just sharing the step-by-step on how to onboard projects on Giveth. So this is a very great session. And I think you cover basically everything. I would just say that also after creating and helping creating the projects, you should also incentivize them to join Giveth Discord and follow us on social media, because that's also a great way for them to really start to get the feel of how Giveth works. But yeah, pass it back to you, Ash.
Yeah, and
Cool.
maybe just add that there's this cool Pimp Your Project video thing that Danny did like one time. That's also like good material for when like you're onboarding someone, and like explanation of how to like make it look like super good and attractive. So I'll look the link and put it in the chat.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's also in this onboarding guide, but I'm not positive. Maybe I'll double check. If not, we should definitely add it there, but I think I put it in. Cool. Okay. So then that leads me to the next part here. So we've created this cool tool for you all in your toolbox that you can kind of walk through this guide as you're starting to onboard a project. So I shared this in the chat. Feel free to use it as much as you want. And if you think we should add anything, just like make a comment in the either in the deck or in the Discord channel or Telegram channel. And you're like, hey, we should add this. It would be really helpful. Like, we'll definitely get it, make sure we add it in here. So the intention of this guide is onboarding projects into Giveth, especially if they're not familiar with Web3 technology, is a challenge. The purpose of this guide is to provide you with methods and tools to get any project onboarded onto Giveth, whether they know about Web3 or not. And the perfect method to onboard projects is something we're all discovering together as a community. You can use this guide to start, and as you gain confidence, you'll also develop your own onboarding techniques. So when I'm onboarding somebody, first things first, you want to ask yourself, does this project already have an Ethereum wallet that they use to manage funds for the project? That's going to be number one. Either you're going to have two different kinds of projects owners, ones that are familiar with crypto and already have an Ethereum wallet or crypto wallet at least, and number two, ones who know nothing about crypto. So if they already have an Ethereum wallet, there's a couple things that you want to consider. You want to know what type of wallet it is and whether it's compatible with Giveth. What chains and networks does the wallet support? You want to make sure that they are supported, that their wallet will support whichever chains or networks that they want to collect donations on. And really important that it should not be an exchange address. So if they say, yeah, I have a wallet, it's a Coinbase account or something like that. That's not a wallet, that's an exchange. And a majority of the tokens that they might accept as receive as donations might not be supported by these exchanges. For instance, like MetaMask supports all tokens on Gnosis chain. You just got to import the token, right? But exchanges don't work like this. So if somebody sends Give to somebody's Coinbase account, it's not going to reach there because Coinbase doesn't support Give. So let's not use any exchange addresses. That's pretty important thing to remember. So that's some things to consider if they do already have a wallet. Now, if they don't already have a wallet, there's a couple things to consider. It's like, what's the level of understanding of crypto? And that leads us to want to advise whether they use a custodial account or a non-custodial account, being Taurus or MetaMask. And so these are buttons you can press to go to yes. It will just like skip through a couple slides, but if no, then you're going to go right to this next slide. So if the project does not have a wallet address, here's some resources to help them get started. You're going to want to, like I said, kind of feel into whether a custodial is better than a non-custodial. I think always, at least all of us here in Web3 who are working to decentralize all the things, we all know that non-custodial wallets are inarguably the most decentralized and autonomous option. Like I will always, if I feel somebody is confident enough to own their own keys and have a non-custodial wallet, I will always advise that they start that. But I have had some moments where, I had a project owner once who is brand new to crypto, couldn't get into the Taurus account. Like we started a custodial account for him, the Taurus account. After some time, he couldn't get in, couldn't figure out where the funds were, all this stuff, lost access to this account. And we ended up I went with him, set up a call with the Taurus support team. We talked with the Taurus support team, and they ended up starting him a new wallet and reimbursing him the funds that he couldn't access. So, there is there is a positive point to having a custodial wallet for people who are still figuring out the grounds of Web3, because there's no way that would have happened with a MetaMask, right? If you send the funds incorrectly or you lose access, you lose your keys, you're just like out of luck. There's nothing to get you back in. So kind of feeling into their level of understanding of Web3 here is going to be really helpful. So if the project owner is very new to Web3, Taurus will allow the user to sign in with a Google account, email, or social media. So they can use like a Web2 way to sign in to Giveth. They just sign in with their email address and it connects them with their Taurus wallet. So it's something that they're already very used to. So it seems very intuitive. And if they're not familiar with how to save private keys or import wallets, Taurus has a support team to help users navigate issues. So these are like two big points, and in the future they can always export the wallet into like a MetaMask account, right? So it's always possible to migrate that account once it's started in Taurus and create a non-custodial account using that same wallet address. So as they start to gain a little more confidence in Web3, we can always like move them a little bit forward into the like Web3 kind of mentality. So I also provided here, so if they want to create if they don't have a wallet and you're going to create a non-custodial wallet or a MetaMask wallet, there's links here that you can send them or walk through with them. This one is like goes right to MetaMask where you can download everything. There's a walkthrough video that we created as part of our Project Owner 101 course. This is what I was talking about. This MetaMask Learn is really, really cool for people who don't know anything about Web3. They've got like all these different courses that you can take, learning about Web3, learning about like digital identity, what's self-custody, all these different kind of like topics. And I think it's pretty easily digestible for new people. So this is a great resource to send people that are brand new to crypto but want to start a MetaMask. And then they also have like a frequently asked question page. You can find a lot of documentation. MetaMask is great with their user documentation. And then also to create a custodial wallet like Taurus, you would just go to Giveth and click sign in. And when you choose sign in, it gives you an option to pick like either like use a Google account, a Twitter account, a Facebook account, so they can sign in with any of these social media accounts. And when they do that, it will automatically generate a wallet address for them. And at that point, they just need to use that same account, whether to sign into Giveth or to sign into Taurus. Maybe I should add here a link to the Taurus app as well, where they can access the wallet on Taurus. I'll add that in here. And then they just log in with that same one. But that's the important part, is to make sure that they're using the same account to log in with. So Taurus like sees Gmail or like an email as a different account than a Google account, as a different account than a Facebook account. So if somebody creates their account with their email address, it's going to only connect it to that email address. And if they come back next time and try to sign in using their Facebook or using a Google account, it's not going to associate them with their previous account. It's going to create another one for them. So each Web2 account that they use to sign in, it's going to establish a wallet address for. So that's something to keep in mind, because it can be a bit confusing if people forget which account they use to start it. But these are kind of like the basics for creating these wallets. All of you have wallets, so I assume that you're pretty familiar with the process of how to create one, but I wanted to make sure that you had some resources to share with the project owners. So there's more helpful information here about wallets. Here's all the Give token IDs. So as you know, sometimes you need to import a custom token if they're not seeing their Give tokens in their wallet, etc. So this is each address for Give on each of these chains, so that you can add it to the wallet. There's a guide here on how to add Gnosis Chain to MetaMask, a guide for using Taurus, how to add Give to MetaMask, and how to add Give to Taurus. So these different, these are also really helpful information about wallets and stuff. If you find any other things, let me know and I'm happy to add them. So Now that the project has a compatible Web3 wallet set up, the project owner should create a profile on Giveth. Before I jump into like this next part, I just want to give everybody a moment if there's any questions or if something isn't clear. Okay. All right. So now that the project has a compatible Web3 wallet, they can create a profile on Giveth. All of you guys have created a profile on Giveth, so you already know the flow for how this goes. And if you wanted to have some resources to share with them, you can share this getting started guide with your project owner, and it tells them step by step how to sign in and how to create the profile. So you can always share that information with them. And once they have the profile set up, now comes the fun part. They get to create the project. And to create the project, they're going to need these 4 things. They're going to need a name for their project. They're going to need a project description. Like I said, it's important to provide as many details as possible. You know, tell the story of the project here, make it engaging, attractive for donors, add images, videos, external links where people can learn more. So that's all important information to include in the description. Please don't just put like 1 or 2 sentences. It's really like not very attractive. There's a cover image that they'll need, and then they're going to need a wallet address where they collect the funds. Now they can provide different recipient addresses for each of the networks they were collecting funds on. And again, I put here like do not enter an exchange deposit address, and just ensure that whichever wallet address they're adding is compatible with the chain that they've selected to make sure that the donations aren't getting lost. And yeah, we've got some resources over here. The creating a project guide in the Giveth docs. There's a walkthrough video on how to create the project. And then I also included a link here to the quality assurance guide. So this is going to tell you like what we're looking for when we're listing projects to approve and get them listed. If a project doesn't have a description, or they just have 1 sentence, or they don't have an image or something, we're not going to list them on the projects page. So this outlines like the criteria that they need to have to get listed on the projects page. So that's the creating a project. And then what comes next? After creating the project, if they need it, you can assist them in filling out the verification application. That's kind of the step where you guys are at now. So once you've completed that, you'll know the process there. There's more information here on how to complete that. Tell them about the different benefits about being part of the Givebacks program, and you can share with them information here. There's also some cool resources in the ambassador here. So there's different resource materials here that you can always take advantage of sharing with them as well. So this Project 101, Project Owners 101 course is a great, it walks them through the beginning until even adding updates and everything. So there's little walkthrough videos here on anything they might want to do. And if they want like inspirational content, like this talk by Griff is really awesome. We've got, here's the Pimp My Giveth project was the link that Franco was talking about, the workshop that we did. So there's more information in here, more resourceful materials here. Maybe I can even work on making this a little bit more robust for you guys. And if you think of anything that's helpful and you will help other ambassadors, like please just add it. We're all in this together. So yeah, and then invite them to join Giveth Discord, kind of introduce them to the community, maybe show them a place to interact with the community and share their projects. I'll add the Telegram group here once it's live as well. So basically it's like Giveth is providing the tools for the projects to start their fundraising journey. However, 99% of the work for a project to succeed depends on the promotion strategy. So then there's also this information here like about how to promote your project. This is the project, I think. Also. Yeah. So great resources at your fingertips to share with people and get them on the right foot when starting their project. And then I put one last slide here at the end for just like some frequently asked questions that maybe ambassadors have, like what kinds of projects should you help onboard to Giveth, how to answer questions that you don't know. This question gets asked a lot. How can I withdraw my donation? So there's an answer here. And can project owners donate to their own projects? So I put like 4 big questions that are frequently asked here, and you can find more. There's a whole page of frequently asked questions down here at the bottom of the ambassador thing. And if you guys have more questions as they come in, I will definitely add them here and add the answers. So this is the completion of the guide for you guys. I hope that this is helpful as you start to onboard project owners. And like I said, keep in mind that we can always add to this. And as you get more confident with onboarding projects, like I think you'll develop kind of your own flow for how it works best for you as well. Okay, let me come back to Discord. Here we are. Oh, thanks. So yeah, I guess I'm curious now just to know how many of you have started talking with project owners and have started the onboarding process, and maybe like how it's going for you. Have you started to onboard any projects? I know, Chair, you're working on one, right? Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah, I'm working on one specifically. I have another 2 and potentially a lot more under that, but let's say 2 just for sure at this point. But like if one of those breaks, then that might usher in like 3 or 4 all at once. So it's early, like specifically, like I have a commitment from one person that says they will sign up tomorrow, so that's great, and I'll like halfway count on that for now and start working on the next ones.
Cool. That's cool. I'm glad that you've got some people in the lineup and some good ideas for who you want to get onboarded. And I hope that this deck will serve as like a good resource for you.
Yes.
How about you, Dami Blaze? Have you had a chance to start onboarding any projects? Or anybody else maybe that wants to talk? Badore, have you had a chance to start onboarding a project?
Or maybe Makisi? Or our Spanish speakers, Andrea or Ricardo. Have you start onboarding someone? Or someone have show interest or something around this?
Hi, yes, I've been talking to, well, the ones that I'm doing my project with, so just walking through the verification process, the projects, just the public good impact, wallets, all of that we are, yeah, just scheduling like with different time zones, so yeah, just working on that.
Yeah, that's great. I remember you were saying you were going to work with projects in the Amazon as well. Is that still a thing?
Yes, I did. I did reach out for that for the lady that I was with, but she said that right now she's really burned out from everything, and she said, "Give me a couple of weeks." And I was like, "Okay, it's your organization. You need this." So, whenever she's at a good moment, so I can know who's the coordinator or the treasury or administrator of the organization. Yeah, that will happen for sure. Hopefully.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a common theme for people that are involved in really busy nonprofit organizations. You know, they're kind of like so overwhelmed with all the tasks and everything. So I think that's part of why it can be difficult to onboard projects, is just getting the bandwidth from the people who are in charge or the head of the organization, the people who you need to talk to.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
And maybe Makisi, if you have not started onboarding any project, what part do you think would be the hardest, or which part do you think that would be the hardest to start onboarding projects? Maybe creating the wallet or explaining the gift bags. I don't know. I'll be curious if someone has an that. Maybe Chair, that you already started. If you have something that, do you think that would be like the hardest of this process?
Okay. Currently, I don't think there is any issue with me onboarding the wallet to Giveth, or onboarding a donor, because I'll be able to explain the gift bags, how to create the wallet, and different wallet that it supports. So currently, there's no issue from my end.
Oh, that's great. Happy to hear that.
Well, that is really what I had planned for today's session, was just walking through the best practices and giving you guys the deck. Hopefully you can start scheduling some onboarding sessions with some project owners soon. So just to kind of go over, since we had module 2 on Monday and today, the homework for module 2 is just to complete the verification process, the verification application. So from the project that you created, the fake test project that you created, fill out the application to apply for verification for that project so you can get a feel for the flow. And then once you've submitted the application, just let me know and I can take a look. And then the second item for it is to complete an onboarding session with a project owner. So once you've completed that onboarding session, you can just send me a message, let me know that you completed the session and the name of the project that you were working to onboard. So these are the two tasks for homework for this module. And next Monday, we'll just have some time to work on these homework tasks, as well as like do some questions, answers, feedback, any kind of like things that you're running into while trying to onboard people or anything. So it's just so that you know what's coming up. And let me know if you have any. Does anybody have questions about how to complete these and completing the verification application? All right, great. Well, I look forward to seeing all of you guys on Monday and hearing about how the experience is going and learning about the projects that you're onboarding. I get really excited to learn about new projects and to read about them and see what they're doing. So I love seeing new applications come through and new projects coming onto the platform. So I'm really excited to see all the projects that you guys are bringing. But really, that's all I have for today. If everybody feels complete, we can go ahead and end this session a few minutes early, let you guys have 15 minutes back to your day. But I'm also more than happy to hang around if somebody wants support on something, or like if you want to walk through the application again or something, just let me know. I'm super happy to stay. But if not, feel free to take some time back in your day, and I will see you all on Monday.
Thank you, Ashley. Nice to see you, everyone. Thursday, bye.
Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for coming.